guys, sorry about that. I am still having some trouble with the internet connection here, so bear with me today. But thank you again for tuning in. I am at Studio 151, the beautiful Studio 151 Fitness in Laconia, New Hampshire. So for those of you that are not from this area, if you ever do travel, when we're allowed to travel again, please stop in because we do plan on teaching live classes once everybody can resume that lifestyle. And we've got a bunch of awesome instructors and a bunch of awesome classes. So today we are doing a core workout, total core. That means abs, butt, hips, small back muscles there, even a little bit into those adductors, which yes, are also core muscles. So you do not need any equipment. If you want a band to put around or above your knees, or if you want to use some hand weights, you can certainly feel free to grab those. I am not, because my legs are already quite sore, and I know that this is going to be a good workout without it. A mat would be helpful, as well as maybe an additional mat today. We are going to be doing some things on hands and knees, so if your knees need a little bit of protection there. The other thing we are going to be doing today are some planks. So if you need to modify, you can drop down to your knees, or you can even go onto a counter or a wall, and you can still get those leg motions in that we're going to do. So I'm just going to back up a touch. We're going to take a nice breath in, and as we breathe in, we're actually going to extend and expand those arms. I've got super long arms, and then you're going to let that left arm come under the right and give yourself a big hug. And then breathe in, open, and then right arm crosses. And again, give yourself a nice big hug. One more of each of those, left arm under. Oh, it feels good. Someone's got to give us a hug since, we can't hug anybody else right now. Good. Okay, from here, go ahead and take a nice big inhale now. Let those arms come all the way up. Clasp those fingers together. Turn those palms up towards the ceiling and stretch and reach. Should feel good. We're going to take a couple little side bends. Loosening up. Getting everything moving this morning. I'm going to turn and face the side so you guys can see me. But from here, we're going to take it and fold it forward. Go ahead and bend into those knees if you need to. And you can bend into those knees a lot and then let those hands come down towards the ground. From here, we're going to go and div little tiny leg extensions as we go. Don't worry about straightening all the way. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'll probably have a little bit more movement as you go along. 9 and 10. I'm going to actually walk up towards the front of my mat. Keep those hands right on the ground. You're going to take that left leg and scooch it back into a lunge. Now, if you need to, you stand up and get into that lunge instead of scooching back, although scooching is such a great word. From here, let's pulse that knee down. 1, and really try to straighten it up as you go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You're going to take that right leg, bring it back so that we're in a downward dog position or a pike position, however you want to call it. We're going to rise all the way up onto those toes and then try to press those heels back. So up and back. There's 2. We're just getting 5 here. 3, 4, and 5. Stay in that downward dog. Keep that left foot down, and that right leg is going to come up towards the sky. We are going to shift forward into a plank position as that right knee comes towards that right elbow. And then you're going to come straight back up and then shift that right knee towards the left elbow. You're going to get 2 more like that. Think about pulling in those abdominals, especially as you start to shift forward, shoulders stacked over those wrists. If your wrists are bothering you, sometimes holding on to weights on the ground also helps. 1 more. Good. Bring that right foot back down. Left foot comes up to the sky. and left knee towards the left elbow. I have really long legs, so it's easy for me to get my knee to my elbow. Don't worry if you can't get all the way there. Left knee to right elbow. And again, 2 more in that position. Left knee, left elbow. Really pressing, squeezing. Push that heel back. 1 more, each elbow. Don't forget the breathing thing. Bring that foot back downward, back into that downward dog again. From here, you're going to bring that left, ooh, boy, you can tell I'm a little tight. You're going to bring that left foot forward into a low lunge, and we're going to pulse that right knee down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. From here, you can either step together to come back up and then step back into a lunge, or if you're able to, if you have the flexibility and the strength, you're going to think about lift that chest off of that knee and then come up into that high lunge. And you should already feel those, that wasn't a very good example, but you should already feel those glutes starting to kick in. So we're going to go down into a lunge, and as we come down, arms are going to come up and then back. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 5. We're going to add on. Keep those hands back down into the middle. You're going to lunge down, step up, little squeeze into those glutes and lift. Down, lift. There's 2, 3, 4. 1 more, and then we're going to add a little pulse. So down, oh my goodness, down, lift up and pulse, pulse. Down, pulse, pulse. There's 2, 3, 4, and 5, toe cramp. Go ahead and drop back down into that lunge. Bring those arms up above, overhead again. You're going to shift that body weight forward. So chest is going to come forward, hip is going to push back. Bring those arms out in front, squeeze those shoulder blades, stay in this position, and then you're going to really squeeze those shoulder blades as those elbows come back. Again, you can use weights as you're doing this one. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here's 10. From here, clasp those hands behind your back, squeeze into those shoulder blades, and then lift those hands up. Don't let that go yet. You're still working that butt, even though you're stretching a little bit. Now from here, see if you can come forward a little bit more and back up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you guys are commenting right now, I apologize because I can't see a darn thing, but thank you. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now, bend that back knee again. You either are going to step back down into a low lunge, or if you can control it, go ahead and drop back down into that low lunge. Here we go. I'll give you a second to get into that position. And then you're going to bring that left leg back again into that plank position. From here, we're going to take that left knee, staying in this plank position. Now we're just alternating back and forth. So left, right, left, right. No kicking back. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Press back into a downward dog. Shift forward back into that plank pose. Drop those knees so they're just hovering. Make sure you're not locking your elbows. And hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press back to that downward dog. Now we're really going to test your flexibility. Go ahead and walk those feet towards your hands. If you have to bend those knees, there is nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Arms come up overhead, and we're going to fold it right back forward again. Pause just for a second. Hang on to those elbows. Get a little ragdoll here. And then bring those hands back down to the ground. And we're going to step the opposite leg back. So now we're in that low lunge. Coming up into that high lunge. Maybe. We're going to bring those arms up and down as we pulse a little. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's 5. We're going to add on a little bit here. So you're going to go down into that lunge. And I'm going to bring this foot a little closer. As you come up, a little butt squeeze. So there's 1, 2, 3. I hope your butt is not cramping like mine. 4, 5, 6. Sorry, that should have been 5. We're going to add a little double pulse there. 1, 2, and down. So that's 1. Pulse, pulse. 2, pulse, pulse. 3, pulse, pulse. 4, pulse, pulse. 5, boy, when my legs are tired, my balance certainly goes a little bit there too. From here, take that chest, reach it forward as you shift back into that right hip. That back leg is going to stay straight now. Arms are going to come up. Ooh, come up as you squeeze into those shoulder blades, and then give me 10 little squeezes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't forget the breathing part. 7, 8, 9, and here's 10. This time, clasp those hands in front of you, kind of round those shoulders. Stay with that chest forward, though, and then lift it up. Shift it back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 9 and 10. Good. Either step forward and then back into that low lunge, or if you can control it, right back down into that low lunge. Hands come down to the ground. Again, I'll give you a second to get into this pose. And then you're going to take that right leg, step it back into a plank position. Now we're going elbow to elbow with that right knee. So here we go. Left to right for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring that foot back. Press back to that downward dog. Shift it forward. Drop those knees so they just hover. 4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Drop those knees down with control, of course. Still use those abdominal muscles. Press those hips back into that child's pose. Let yourself pause here. You're going to walk those hands over to the right side. Left hand's going to come on top of the right. And then you're going to drop that butt off the left side of your heels, stretching in through that left side a little bit more. And then switching to that other side. So hands go to the left, right hand on top of left. I'm going to move forward just a touch. Butt is going to come off the right side of the heels. Good. And then back to the middle, right up into that hands and knees position. We're going to start with that left leg. You're going to keep it bent. You're going to give a little tuck in towards those abs and then kick it up. So it's a tuck and a kick. Don't arch the back as you do this one. There's 2, 3, 4. Don't shift your hips either. 5, 6. We want to stabilize the back, not move it. 8, 9. Here's 10. Now hold it up there and give me 10 little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go ahead, tuck it back in, and then 2 little pulses. 1, 2. Tuck and pulse. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Go ahead and shift if you can, if it's comfortable for you, down onto that right forearm as that left hand stays where it is. So now we're shifting our weight to the right a little bit. Bring that left knee back just a touch, and you're going to lift right out to the side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's called a fire hydrant for a good reason here. 6, 7, 8, 9, and at 10, I want you to hold it up there. Now go ahead and straighten that leg out and bring it back. You're working both sides here. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Hold that knee up just for a second. Come all the way back up onto both hands. Now we're going to add little circles. You do not want to move the other hip, just this one. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know my butt is talking to me. 9 and 10. Okay, let that come back down, and then go ahead. We're going to go right into a child's pose again. Give those arms a little bit of a break, those arms and those wrists. If you need to even do a little wrist stretch this way, you can. Please be careful with that one, though. Just for a second here, and then we're right back at it. So back up into those hands and knees. Again, we're going to start now. I'm just going to face the other way so you guys can maybe see this leg too. Don't mind my hair everywhere. We're going to start with that right knee tucking in and then pressing up. So here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it up there and give me 10 little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, you're going to tuck it back in again, and then 2 pulses. 1, 2. Tuck and pulse. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo, that was a little arch. That was just to show you what not to do. Go ahead down onto that left forearm. Stay up on that right hand. If you need to go down onto that forearm now, if your wrists are bothering you, you certainly can too. But go ahead. We're going to lift that right knee up and back down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. At 10, we're holding it up there. 8, 9, and 10. Now kick that leg out straight. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hold it out there just for a second, because why not? And then go ahead, come all the way back up, hands and knees again. We're going to get those little hip circles. Only that right leg moves, though. We're going to start with a lift up, and then around and back down. 1, 2. You may need to make them smaller so that other leg doesn't move. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now switch it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yay! We're going to go onto our back and stretch those glutes out. My hair really is everywhere. Forgive me. I'm going to take a little sip of water here. All right, lying right on down, cross that left ankle over that right thigh. You're either going to take the left hand on the outside of that right thigh and bring it over towards the opposite shoulder. If you need a little more or want a little bit more stretch, bring that right thigh up towards your chest, and then you can actually even rotate over more towards that right side. But remember, stretching should feel good, not bad. So this is not time to push. It's time to breathe. We probably aren't breathing enough in today's day and age, I imagine. I know that I am just as guilty of that, so. Good. Okay, go ahead and come on back. And we're going to switch. Cross that right ankle over that left. Same idea, either bring it towards the opposite armpit and bring that thigh up towards the chest. And then if you want a little bit more even, you're going to rotate to the left side, towards the left side. Yeah, come back to the middle. Bring those legs down. You're going to start by straightening out just that left leg. Again, you can use a weight here too if you want. Light weights, please, though. Right arm's going to come overhead, and it's going to reach up towards that left leg. Make sure that those abs are pulled in, that you're not arching or flattening your back any more than your starting position. Your happy spine, as I like to call it. Here's 4. At 5, if you want to lift up that head a little bit, you can. There's 5. Make sure you're still looking straight up towards the ceiling. There's 6. If you have any neck pain, please don't do this. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now go ahead and grab onto either that calf or that thigh. Stretch out that hamstring just a touch. Warming up those abs. Still trying to stretch those legs out a little bit. This is my 3rd day in a row of teaching some butt stuff, so forgive me for being shaky. You're going to straighten out that right leg. Left arm's going to come overhead. Same idea. Keep that ab position. Lift and lower for 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 5. If you want to add that little head raise, you can. Notice I'm not lifting super duper high so that I'm not trying to use my spine. I still want to use the muscles of the abdominals. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Again, grab onto either that thigh. And it's okay if that knee bends a little bit. Grab onto that thigh or that calf. Stretch that hamstring out a little bit. Good. And then go ahead and bring that foot back down. Soles of the feet together. Knees dropped open. Hands behind the head. Take a breath in and then exhale. Again, it's leading from those lower abdominals. Don't tug that neck. Don't come too far up. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At 10, you're going to hold it up there. 8, 9. Here's 10. Now you're going to give me a little pulse to the side. So it's just a tiny little movement. Notice I'm not yanking my elbow. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put your head down if you need to. 8, 9, and 10. Right back down, but right back up again. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry for the fluttering light in the background. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Come all the way back down. Bring those arms overhead. Straighten out those legs like you're getting a nice, good morning stretch. And you guys have probably been up for a little while now, so yay you, and good job. You deserve a little good morning stretch. And then go ahead and bend those knees again. Arms are going to come down by your side, so no weights yet, but keep them handy if you're using them. We're going to get into our tabletop position. So take a breath in, exhale as one leg comes up, inhale, and then exhale as that other leg comes up. Shoulder blades are pressed into that mat. We're going to alternate little bicycle legs here. So 1, I miscounted already, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At 10, you're going to hold it out. 8, 9, here's 10. You're going to take those arms. If it's, again, okay on your neck, you're going to lift up and reach to the side. If it's not okay, you're going to just reach those arms over to the side. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Woo, you can bend that knee if you need to, too. 8. That was a bad one. Don't follow that example. 9. And 10. Switch it up. Here we go. Other side. 10. 9. 8. I'm not going to point my toes because they're going to cramp. 7, but you can. 6. Keep those abs pulled in. 5. 4, and I'm sorry, I think I'm yelling. 2, 3, just so excited about abs. 2, and 1, back down. Bring those knees into your chest. Give them a hug, little rock side to side. You don't have to rock side to side. Sometimes it just feels good to do that, though. And we're going right back up into our tabletop position. Go ahead and grab those weights if you want to use them. From here, we're going to bring both arms overhead as both legs straighten out and squeeze together. Now notice I am not lowering very much as I do this, because if I do, I lose that form really quickly. So these are okay to do as long as you're not putting too much stress through the hip flexors or through the spine. And that's why I know I need to be right here. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more. There's 10. Back to that tabletop position again. From here, you're going to bring those hands back behind that head. You're going to get a little tiny crunch up as that left foot taps down towards the mat. Again, it's okay if it doesn't go all the way down. Here's 2. See how small my movements are? Because I'm really trying to control that motion in the spine. 4, and not pooch out my abs either. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right, this one's going to look really funny, but bear with me. Arms are going to come overhead. Again, use those weights if you want to. As you come up, those knees are going to come open, and then they're going to close again. So again, it's just a small movement, adding a little bit of hip stability in there too. There's 3, 4, 5. My abs are also on fire today. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. You're just going to pause here for a minute. And then you're going to come back. Legs are going to straighten up towards the ceiling. Arms straight up towards the ceiling. Everything is straight up towards the ceiling. Right leg's going to drop as left arm comes out to the side. Use a tiny bend in that elbow. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, you can always get rid of the weights too if you're using them and they don't feel good. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then switch it up. Left leg drops, right arm opens. 4, 1, don't let that opposite hip move there. 2, 3, 4, it's just a little less stress on the shoulder if you have that bent elbow. 5, we want to protect all body parts here. 6, 7, and I just arched on that one. 8, don't do what I did. 9, and 10. Go ahead and give those knees a little hug in. You can still do this with weights in your hands too. I've done it before. All right. We're going to go back to that little double leg pull here, but you're going to add an arm circle. So as those legs straighten out, you're going to lift up, circle those arms around, and then come back. So there was 1. 2. Again, remember, watch how low you're lowering your legs. 3, 4. You can do this without lifting your head too. You can just use those arms. 5, 6. Notice my eyes are still looking up towards the ceiling though. That's why I'm not looking at you guys. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now keep those legs straight, bring them back up to the ceiling. We're going to do some little reverse crunches. When you do these, you want to try to think about pushing straight up to the ceiling, not back. Use those lower abs and those pelvic floor muscles, which are also part of your core. Here we go. Press those hands down, squeeze those shoulder blades into the mat, and then little lift. Holy moly, definitely sore today. 10 of these. Try not to lift your head up. Try not to use your neck too much here. There's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew, I really am shaky. Go ahead, bring those knees out wide this time, either grabbing onto the shins, or if you want to get into that happy baby, grab the outside of those feet. We are going to come up into a seated position. As you do this, you have 2 options. You can do a roll up, but you can only do that if you can actually control it 1 vertebrae at a time. So if you get to here and you kind of got to do this, that was just a demonstration. Please don't do that. Not good on the spine, okay? Otherwise, roll to your side and come on up. If you're going to do the roll up, tuck that chin. Think about keeping that ab, just that one ab. Keep all of those abs pulled in and roll it on up. Whew. I'm going to face you guys now. I hope you can see me still. I've got to have water for sure. I'm just going to back up a touch. All right, from here, go ahead and bend those knees. Again, if you've got weights, please feel free to use them. But we're going to go just using those elbows, pulling that belly in. We're going to lean it back, pull that elbow back, and come right back up. So there's 1, 2, 3. You have control about how far back you're going here. 2, 4. If you need to, you can always straighten one leg out too if it starts to bother your hip. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to add a little bit of a bigger motion. We're going to open that. So again, still use weights if you want, but lighter or none for this. We're going to lean it back and sweep that arm back, and then all the way back up. Sweep that arm back and back up. So there's 2. 3. 4. If you made noises like I just did, it probably means you weren't breathing very well, so don't do that. 6. I'm doing a great job of showing you what not to do this morning. 7. 8. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall when you come back to the center. 9. Here's 10. Last one. Good. One last little pose here. You're either going to hold this position with those arms out. You're going to come into this position or legs straight. But we're going to get a hold, and I'm going to look to the side just so that I can time us, because we're getting 30 seconds here. You can always modify as we go. But, all right, everybody get into their position and hold. So again, if you're here and this doesn't feel good, you can always try putting one foot down. You can put both feet down. You can sit up even more. There's lots of ways to modify this one. I can't keep my legs still, so I move my feet. And sometimes I'm Italian too, so I tug with my hands. But look at that. We're already 15 seconds done. Try not to extend backwards. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Yay. Good. Okay. Go ahead. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let those knees drop open. You're either going to grab onto those feet or press open those knees, or even just stay right where you're at. If you need to, you can even sit on a block or a brick. If you want more, you're going to come and fold it forward. You can even reach those arms out forward if that feels good. Remember, this is the really feel-good part, so please don't push to beyond a comfortable limit. Good. And then slowly come on back up. You're going to straighten the right leg out. Left leg is going to cross over. If you need to cross it down lower, if you don't have that mobility, that's okay. Try to hug that left knee in with that right arm. Left hand comes behind your back, sitting up tall, and you're going to rotate to the left. Head is the last thing to rotate, which is why I'm still looking at you. Pressing that right leg into the ground still. Really start to focus on your diaphragm breathing, meaning as you breathe in, fill up that belly. As you exhale, let that belly go. It's a great technique to do to help calm the nervous system down. So as we're all feeling a little bit of stress here, that is a quick, easy way, or at least simple way, maybe not easy, but a quick, simple way to calm some anxiety. Good. Okay, unwind from that. Left leg out, right leg is going to cross over. Squeeze that right leg in with that left arm. Right hand behind the back. And then add that little rotation to the right. So diaphragm breathing actually, like I said, calms down the nervous system. It actually helps to relax the neck muscles too. So what's the other thing that tends to happen when we have stress? We all kind of go like this. So your diaphragm really functions in a nice way. And it actually is, again, part of that core. So breathing properly helps stabilize everything as well. Good. And come on out. Yay, you did it. Thank you guys for joining me today. Love being here, love teaching this, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.